so I have my VaporizET here, the new version I have going. I haven't tested it out, but I wanted to show you guys what I have, so come up closer here. So I have this new handle here that folds down out of the way, folds up. I have this fan here. I don't have a latch because I couldn't drill it right now with this in the way, but I'm gonna have to put a latch on this. That way it folds out of the way, you can get down into your pot down here and close it back up. Made this latch so this lid so it actually kind of snaps on a little bit. Before it did not. Everything's the same inside. Get it back on. And I moved the box up because it was out in the way. Dropped this down. Obviously, it's just a short little auger now. I got a clamp for the propane, so it's easier to hook your propane up. Propane in now. As you can see, it didn't move. I was pushing hard up on there. Everything looks fine there. Now you can just grab on the handle here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's fire the propane up. Okay, propane is going now, and I have a leak here. So I gotta get ready to start off. All right, so I got the leak taken care of. So let's start this up. And we'll turn the power on. Shouldn't take long to heat up at all. How's this warming up? A little bit of oxalic acid. Hopefully it's still good. Big old chunks in there. Piece of wood. I don't want that in there. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and this is annoying. Wedged because somebody threw rocks in there. I think I know the little girl who did it. So, I wonder how many rocks are in here. Okay, so now we got it going again. Let's start it up. Should be pretty much primed now. So we'll push our button. Turn it on. Push our button. Take it back. Come around, look, it's coming towards you. So wait. So probably need to have that fan go a little longer. So that's looking pretty good. And then we'll go ahead and it's looking pretty good. There's 2 doses there. I think my fan time needs to run a little longer. But I think I got pretty big doses going in though too. I think it'd be better if my fan ran a little longer. So I got a 3.8 second run on the auger. What's the 3.8? Something like that. And the fan comes on for like 15 seconds or so. Okay, see, that's not hot up there at all, and that's really what I need. I need that to stay cold. This will probably be hot. Yep, that's real hot. Can't keep our fingers on there. Now, see, we do get a buildup down in here. See, I think I need that fan going a little more. Look at all that. That fan should still be blowing. See, because now it's pretty much done. Let's turn it on again, do another dose here. See if it does anything if you wait a little bit here. See if it kicks back on like it did last time. See, I don't see much. Let's fire it again. Oh, that's real good right there. That's working pretty good. Nice. Cloud coming out a little bit. That looked like a pretty good dose. Let's go again. I do think it's working a lot better. One thing, it doesn't have to push all that acid through that long auger. It's just a short little spot where it's actually pushing it through the pipe, like maybe half an inch or so. So not much at all. Okay, it's looking pretty decent. I'm not sure. I put some RTV down in here to try to seal everything up, but it looks like I got a little bit of leak somewhere in here. Probably need a little more RTV. There's less actually acid. I'm not full. I'm running out of acid here, so it's not giving me a good dosage. Okay, let's try this out again. Alright, so now let's bring this down here. Let's see where we're going to go in the hive. Stick it in. Hit your button. Let it vaporize that hive. Blow everything in there. And you pull it out, go to the next hive, push your button. And so one thing with this, I have these exhaust pipes coming up. So my hands can be this close and it's just warm. Any warmer, it starts getting hard to hold your hand there. Any closer, it's harder to hold your hand there. So I try to make sure that I have these pipes long enough that no flames will come out. I did catch a fire one time with some dry grass around. So that's one thing you got to watch out for. And I ran this thing as high as it can go to see if I get flames to shoot out. I didn't get no flames shooting out, but it's one thing I'm concerned with. I don't ever want to be able to start a fire. I want all that fire to be happening down in the chamber below. But I really need to actually go take this out and do some testing with it on the hives, and do I'd like to try to get 100 doses through here and see what it does. I don't think I'm going to have any of the problems I did before. My auger would start crystallizing at the end. The acid would crystallize on the tip of the auger, and it would start plugging up, and your dosages would get smaller. The auger would start getting so hard to turn, I'd have to come down here with the pliers and turn this by hand to get it to break free. And that's one thing I don't want to happen, and that's why I have this here now. See that auger, I could put my finger on that auger and that auger's not hot. So everything seems to be working good with the way it's running right now. So just one of the things I see right now is the buildup of the acid on the tip, which is normal. The longer, the bigger tip you have, the cooler it's going to run. The cooler it runs, the more it's going to start crystallizing back up on there. So there's not much you can do about that except keep something around, keep a little wire to poke up in there and to clean your nozzle out. But I'm pretty much out of acid, I think. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot in there. But we'll let it go through a cycle. You'll see it run more time through here. Some things I did on this that I didn't have before. On all my screws, I tapped them into the middle, so that way I don't have any nuts I got to be dealing with, except for one place for this fan here. Okay, let's go again. See, I'm not getting a full dose. I don't have enough acid in here. And I think my augers need to be a little bit long. I mean, my paddles need to be a little bit longer. Like this one, I can tell this one's like way too short. It's a mile away. It could be totally a little longer. Yeah, see, I got this little lever here, little switch to manually turn it on. Yeah, try to run everything out of here. Look at that. I'm starting to blow air back through here. And that auger turns. Not quite working right anymore because we're out of acid. Need a seal on top so it can't blow through the top. But that's not too bad. Everything seems to be working pretty good. I did put a lot in there. Now it's getting kind of built up in there. And it wasn't hot enough to keep it cleaned off. There we go. It's good. That easy to clean your nozzle out. So there it is. And I just need to take everything apart now. I need to put this clamp in place. Need to get everything taken apart, painted right. I do have different plans for this box. The way I'm using it right now, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna want the dual relay. I still may. It actually seems to be working pretty good the way I have it set right now. Running the fan at a slow speed. And then once it runs, the auger turns and then as soon as it stops running, the fan kicks on full speed to really blow the acid into the hive. So I think that's working pretty good. I think I'm okay with that. So I might keep that dual relay, but I don't think I want to have the batteries inside the box. I want to be able to change out the batteries. I thought about taking and using like a DeWalt battery and using that to power everything up. And I may, and if I did, I'd mount it somewhere underneath. It just slide up underneath here. I don't like the price of those batteries. You can get some knockoff ones that are a lot better price, but I like the idea of just a battery pack. So if you just have a battery pack, you can slide under there, plug it in. It's better, it's cheaper, but it's not a standard. So there is something to say about a nice standard like DeWalt Milwaukee battery or something just to plug it in and go. I'm gonna do something different with these legs. It's just what I have set up right now with something quick and easy that I had on there last time, and I just left it the same. I will be changing it out. I might actually just use the tank as one of the legs, and then maybe even have the battery pack where the battery pack goes in, that's going to be the other leg. I don't know. It's just kind of some ideas. Shorten this line up a little bit. I don't know what to do with this line. It works. It's just I had to put some rubber gaskets in here, and this one I'm not sure why. I think it was just because the stainless tubing was not matching up to that fitting up top. And then in here it's just totally different. You don't even have that, so you got to have gaskets in here. So something needs to be a little different here. It works, but it's not the way it should be on these, so I got to come up with something a little different. This piece here, it's hot. I don't want to have this expanded metal here. I want to just use sheet metal, and then once it slides on, it'll probably like screw right into the block here. And then I might use some like a rope or something inside there to insulate instead of this wool that I'm using. And I might actually make it a little bit bigger so you got a little bit more insulative going on. And one thing too, the more insulation you have, the more heat you're keeping inside. The more heat you keep inside there, the better it is, as far as you'll use less propane to keep on heating your pot. Another change I might do, my pot inside is just out of some steel pipe, some steel tubing in there. I might change it over to copper tubing. Dogs are, I think, barking at the cows over there. They don't think they're supposed to be in the pasture, and I'm not sure if they're supposed to be in there or not, but they're in there. But the where was I don't even know what I say now. Oh, but the heat pot, I might change it to a copper one. Copper's going to transfer that heat better, but then I'll have to do some like soldering or brazing or something to put the two metals together. I don't think I want to make this whole part out of copper. That would be very expensive. But as the way it's running, oh, and some other things too. So to adjust this, you got to pull this screen off to adjust it. So that's one of the things I would do. I would change it so the buttons are on the outside so you can quickly do your adjustments, because it's a pain to try to get in there and change things. And I don't like how I have all these wires everywhere. I'd like to just have your little display and your buttons to change your settings. Keep everything else hidden, keeping all the wiring separated from your battery pack, so everything's simple and easy. But we'll see how things go. Got some other plans to do for modifications. One thing, I have this like a little Lovejoy coupler here, spider coupler. I'm going to change that out. I am thinking doing it instead of having any flex joint in there, just welding a piece of shaft or making like a coupler out of steel pipe to attach to the shaft, and then this shaft would slide into that coupler with the set screw, and then you could actually bring this in closer and tighter. If I do that, the same thing would apply to this. You'd have to bring this closer, or you don't have to, but you can bring your leg in closer. However, by doing that, then you see this, I mean, this, we're already pretty tight right here. You'd have to do an elbow, which wouldn't be a bad idea if you can do a nice straight elbow right here, if it would work right. And just kind of suck everything in a little closer, a little tighter. I want to show you guys something here. Let me go get the other part that I need. Okay, so one thing how I built this, I did want it real short and try to make it as narrow as I could. So when you put your handle down, my goal is to actually put a bottom in one of these boxes and to be able to store it in a box. I might do 2 mediums, and then those 2 mediums will hinge open, and then you'd be able to pull your vaporizer out. This is just an 8 frame. I might do a 10 frame if you had a 10 frame. So come a little closer here. If you had a 10 frame, one thing right now, you can put another bottle right in here. You can put another bottle right in here, so you have two propane tanks in here. Another thing would be, if it was wider, you can have some containers. Back it up. Here, you can't see it here. By having a 10 frame, you would have a little more room to put your some more oxalic acid in there with you. Just some things. I think it'd be nice to have in a nice box where you grab your box of your vaporizer, stick it in your truck. But I think this thing is just about ready to go and work correctly now. I just got to put it through its paces and see how it runs. From what I've seen right now, this is the first time I've run it since I did all the modifications. It seemed to be working really well. I'm pleased with the way it looks. Just a few things. There's a few things I need to do. This handle isn't the best. I need to make a stop so when it comes up to that point, it doesn't keep on going, because that thing can go all the way forward. We don't need that. That was noisy. But let's see how it goes. So what I'm doing now is I just keep that nut tight. And it should be double nutted is what it should be. So that way you can keep a nice tension and have some Teflon washers. But there you go. It's there. If you could see, this is crooked, it's not straight, nothing is straight. I was just eyeballing everything to get it together as quick as I could. And it's together, and it's looking like it'll work good. So beautification will come later. Practicality comes first. I do see I have a little bit of a bend going on here. So come over here. One thing, I don't know if I think I mentioned it, but I made this so it clamps down on that nice and tight. So I mean, everything is a lot more sturdy. I just need to do a few things to make everything else a little more sturdy so it's not as flimsy. And it's gonna be a very nice machine. So that is all I have for you guys. Hopefully in my next video I do of this, you'll see me actually using it on the hives. I probably won't record the first time. Maybe I will. It's just one thing, you're doing it at night. It's not very, you can't really get good footage without lights, and you get lights and the bees get angry. So I probably won't be doing that. I may be. And then if you got problems, it's just a pain when you're recording and you're having issues and things aren't working right. And it's just another hassle there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys stay tuned for the VaporizET and to see how it will help us all in the future. I think this is going to be a big deal on how we treat our mites with oxalic acid. So just stay tuned for more, and we'll see what we get.